Hello everyone and welcome in today's session. Today we are going to learn about the disease and its causes, right? So in that the first point is, what does disease look like, right? So can we see a disease, how it looks? Good, bad, beautiful, worst? No, we can't say, right? But then also we can identify that how disease looks like because of their symptom. So see here in the chapter 6 we have learned that each and every living organism is made up of cells or tissues. They comes together to form an organ forms a system, right? And all these systems works together in a single individual. Suppose if there is a change in a one tissue or in one organ, maybe that system will not work properly, and because of that one system, other systems also cannot work properly, right? So whenever there is a alteration of a function of any tissue or organ, right, then we can not feel well, right? Means that we are saying that this is not being well condition, means we can uncomfortable, and that time we can say I am ill, I am diseased, right? So the same it is given about the cells and tissues. Suppose whenever there is a disease, their functioning or appearance of one or more symptoms in the body will be seen, means body's symptom will start to show, right? Suppose your digestive system has not worked properly, right? Means suppose the HCl, the amount of HCl need to be secreted to acidify the food, that is not secreted properly, or if it is secreted more, then acidity will be increased, right? Due to acidity, then you are feeling uncomfortable, vomiting will take place, right? So these all things, symptoms we can see, right? Suppose just because of any injury the pus is formed, then possibility is that inflammation will be there, redness will be there, pain is there, fever will be there. So whatever all the things which are able to see here, these all are called as a symptoms, and these symptoms says us that the person is suffering from a particular disease, not any one particular disease. They are not mentioning a disease, but they are just saying that in the body something is went wrong, everything is not proper, right? So this is what it is given. Symptoms of the disease are the things we feel as a being wrong, something is wrong in the body. This is what nothing but a symptom, right? So some symptoms are given here: headache, cough, loose motions are there, right? Or pus in the wound is there. These all symptoms are there. Whatever these all symptoms are there, these all symptoms indicates that there may be a disease, right? Possibility of the disease is there because of these symptoms, but they don't indicate what the disease is. The name of the disease is not indicated by the symptoms. By the headache, no one will say that which disease is there. By the cough, no one will say that which disease is there. Cough is there in common cold also, tuberculosis also. So by the coughing, if any person is coughing, then no one will say that what exact disease the person is suffering. So these symptoms are saying that the person is diseased, but which disease is not able to say, right? Example is given here, headache, right? So whenever headache is there, reasons for headache are so many. So if you have any kind of stress, tension, then also you are suffering from a headache, right? So in summer days, if you go outside in a scorchy sunlight, then also due to remaining in a sunlight for a long time, your head will start pain, right? If you have common cold, then also your headache is there. If your specs number is increased, then also headache is there, right? But meningitis is a disease of brains, right, brain's layer. If that disease is there, then also there is a headache. So many possibilities are there. Dozens of different reasons are there. Because of that, headache is possible. So by seeing a headache, if any person is having a headache, then no one will diagnose a fixed disease for the person, right? So by seeing these signs and signs of the disease, symptoms of the disease, physician or the doctor will also go for a specific test to diagnose the disease correctly, right? And these are nothing but the laboratory test. In the laboratory test, they will carry out the test for blood and urine. And whenever blood and urine test is there, then that time the correct diagnosis of the disease will be takes place. So along with these symptoms, these blood and urine tests are there. They will be help the physician or the doctor to diagnose the disease correctly, right? So this is how we can see a disease. See here, acute and chronic diseases are given. In acute and chronic diseases, these are the two types of diseases. So these diseases are based on their time duration. For how much time duration we can observe, then they can have in a person. Based on this classification is there. Now see, the manifestation means incubation period, right, of a disease will be different depending on the number of factors. So for how much time long this disease will occur, this is depend on many factors. Among that, it will be duration. First one is the duration, right? What is its duration? For how much long time this disease occurs. See, some of the diseases are there, they will be last for only very short period of time, right? Short period of time means it will be in a day, maybe 2 days, 3 days, 5 days or 1 week. Maximum it is maybe a 15 days, right? So maybe in that short time of period this disease will occur. So such diseases are called as acute diseases. The diseases which occur for short period of time is called as acute diseases. Example is given of a common cold. If anyone is suffering from a common cold, then maybe we can see that the common cold will last for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days or maximum for a 1 week. It is depend on the immunity of the person. If the person's immunity is strong, right, then person can recover from that disease within 2 days or 3 days also. If it is a medium, maybe it will take 5 days, and if it is weak, maybe it will take 1 week or sometimes 15 days also. So this is duration depend on the immunity of the person. So this is one more factor is there, ahead we will see. But what we are saying here, if any disease will be last for few days to 15 days or 2-3 weeks or even you can say a month, then we can see that disease as a acute disease, right? And there are some of the diseases which last for a long time, right? So much long time we can see this disease, the person is suffering from that disease. Or sometimes this disease can be a lifetime, means till the death that disease can be occur. So these diseases are called as a chronic diseases, means these diseases will never be cured, right? Example is given here, elephantiasis, even cancer is there, diabetes is there, blood pressure is there. These are diseases which will not be cured, right? So this will be remain with the person for the lifetime, right? So for years and years these diseases will go on. So these diseases are called as a chronic diseases, right? Based on this, one activity is given. So you have to survey your neighborhood to find out the people who are suffered from the different diseases, and are these diseases are the chronic diseases or the acute diseases. This you have to find out in this activity. Next, see chronic diseases and poor health. Now see, any disease that causes poor functioning of some part of the body, right? If some part, any part or tissue or organ also, if not functioning properly, then also the person will have a disease, right? So any disease may cause poor functioning of some part of the body will affect our general health. Means all over whatever our health is there, it will be badly impacted because of this disease, right? Now how much this general health will be affected? Just now we have seen that here two types of diseases, right? The acute disease is there, this is only for the short period of time, and the second chronic disease is there, that is for the long time. Now the general health means what? Whatever overall health is there, that is considered as in the general health. Suppose any person is suffering from an acute disease, then what you can say that the acute disease will affect more on the general health, or chronic disease will show the more impact on the general health, where the person have a chances to lose more general health in acute disease or in chronic disease. Obviously the acute disease are only for short period of time, so within a day the person can take medicine or take rest, or by his own immunity he can cover up that disease and again get recharged and becomes a healthy, right? So this will shows the impact on the general health, but it is very less, right? Suppose if any person is suffering from the common cold, then this doesn't mean that the person can't go on the on his work, maybe in office, right, or in school he has to take a leave. Not possible at all, right? With that common cold also he can go to office, can do his work properly, right? Maybe the efficiency of work is little bit less, but he is able to do his work. So here the effect of the acute disease on the general health is very less, and in short period of time the general health is get recovered. But in case of chronic disease, if you will see here, the effect of chronic disease on the general health is very big, because the functioning of the body is necessary, proper functioning of the body is necessary, full functioning of the body is necessary for the general health. And in case of chronic diseases, these diseases are badly impacted on the body, right? Because it is a long time disease, so for a long time person may be a bedridden. So because of that, whatever his general health is there, it will not be recovered soon. So more impact on general health is there of a chronic disease. So due to chronic disease, general health will be very poor, right? So here it is given example. Think about a cough and cold. If it is there, then if we are taking a proper care, then maybe within a week we will be okay. But suppose if any person is suffering from a chronic disease like tuberculosis of the lungs, then the person can remain ill for years and may lose weight, feel tired all the time. Means here his general health is lost, right, due to the tuberculosis. See here, if we have a chronic disease therefore have a drastic long-term effect on the people's health as compared to the acute disease. Now remember this sentence. Based on this sentence, question will be asked: chronic disease shows the drastic effect on the health than acute disease. Justify the statement. So with the examples you can justify that how this disease shows the impact on the general health of a patient. Now the next point is causes of diseases. Now in this we will see the different causes of the diseases. What are the causes of the diseases? Generally what we say that suppose a person is suffering from a malaria, then we are saying that the person is suffering from malaria because of mosquito. So here we are considering that a mosquito is a cause of a disease. But if we go a little bit more in detail, actually the mosquito is not cause of disease, right? Because if the one mosquito bites you and cause a malaria, then maybe before that also so many times you would have a mosquito bite, right? Then also you are not suffering from a malaria. Then why now only? Because the mosquito which bites just now and the person is suffering from the malaria, that mosquito carries protozoa, right, which cause a malaria. So if we go little bit in detail, then we will come to know that there is a protozoa which cause a disease malaria, right. Now another thing, again we will widely see, then there will be a reason that nearby our area we have just kept water stagnant, water is get saturated, right, remain stable over there, and on that the mosquito get breed and the number of the mosquitoes increased, and because of that mosquito bite takes place and the disease caused. So this is one more thing, that the hygienic conditions are not maintained in the surrounding, and that's why the mosquito bite is there, and because of that malaria disease is there. So in this way, if we see, more than one reasons are there for a disease. So this is what we are going to discuss in the causes of the disease, right. So in this, if you will see the causes of diseases, there are many levels of causes. See here word, many levels of causes. So one by one we are going to see the levels of causes. Now this chapter actually is a general health chapter, and whenever the question will be asked in the exam, what are the causes of the disease? So from the lower classes we are learning that infected food, infected water, weak immunity, vectors, bacteria, viruses. So all these different names we are giving as a causes of the disease. But here in this chapter for your class 9th, you have to write these levels as a causes of a disease, not the general one, right. If these answers you will write exactly, you will get a big 0 mark, right. So that's why remember here, whenever the causes of the disease will be asked, you have to write the different levels are there which causes the disease. Now here one example is given and nicely explained with the example. There is a baby suffering from a loose motion. The disease is a loose motion and suffering a small baby, right. Now if we see this disease, immediately we can say that the loose motion is an infection with a virus. So this is a viral disease, and as this virus get virus infection get the baby, and because of this virus the baby is suffering from the loose motion, right. So here the cause of the disease is a virus, right. So here if we see that the virus is a causal organism for the loose motion, then we can say that this is the first level cause of the disease, right. Now the next question is that how this virus come to the baby? Must be it comes through a unclean drinking water, right. Means what? The baby must be had unclean drinking water, right, which is not clean. So that's why this baby has developed a loose motion, while the other babies in that area may not suffer from the loose motion. This only baby has drank a unclean water, right, virus infected water, and that's why this baby is suffering. So here the first cause for the loose motion of the baby is a virus, right. Now this is the one reason, right. The baby is not healthy, right, and others babies are healthy. That's why this baby is suffering from the disease and others may not be suffering, right? Maybe the other babies are there that may not be exposed to the risk of this unhealthy water, right? Or why this is possible? Because this baby's immunity is weak. Now why the immunity of this baby is weak? Because it may be not well nourished, right? Means this baby is not getting a nutritious food, healthy food to develop enough immunity, right? And there is a lack of nourishment, and because of that the baby remains weak. And as the baby is weak due to unclean drinking water, this baby is only suffering from the disease and not the any other babies in that area, right? So this is your second level cause, right? So this second level cause of the disease, the baby is suffering from a disease, is nothing but its health, right? Good nourishment is not there. Now if we say that why there is not good nourishment, reason is that maybe the baby's parents not afford the good nutritious food for the baby, means they are from the poor household, right? They are from a household which is a poor, and that's why the nutritious food may be not affordable to them, and that's why baby remains undernourished and weak, right? This is one more reason, right, for the disease. Another thing is that the genetic difference or poor nourishment. Genetic difference is there, means genetic reason will be there. Because of that baby becomes weak, and because of that the baby is suffering from the disease, right? Further, if we see, suppose the baby is drinking unclean water and that's why the baby is suffering from the disease. Means what? The baby is living the area where the no clean drinking water is available for the baby, right? Means again here the questions comes for the public services, right? Means the baby is living in such areas where the public services are very poor, right? So here poverty or lack of public services are there, that will be third level cause for the baby's disease, right? So in this way we can say that all the diseases will have immediate causes and contributory causes. Mean the second level, third level causes are there. They are the contributory causes which contribute in having disease to the person, and actual reason for the disease means the causal organism is the immediate cause of the disease. In this case baby's first immediate cause is virus, and the baby's poor family condition, not getting nutritious food, or public services are not available over there properly. So these will be contributory causes for the baby's disease. Now see here, below these things to be pondered it is given. Do all the diseases spread to people coming in contact with sick person? What are the diseases that are not spreading? How do a person develop those diseases that don't spread by contact with a sick person? Now in this, if you will see, here we have seen that there are some of the reasons, right? Immediate cause for the disease like bacteria, fungi, virus, right? But here if you will see, there are some diseases which do not caused by any kind of infections, right? So here causal organism is not there, right? Means what? No any external factor is there which causes disease to the person. Means the person has some internal factors within his body, right, which cause disease to a person. So this is what? There are no external causes. They are mostly internal, non-infectious causes for the disease. Example is given of a cancer. Now cancer, if we see, it is not caused by any external factor like bacteria, virus or fungus, right? It is caused by the cell's abnormalities. Now here in this case, cells cause some of the genetic changes in it, mutations occur, and because of these mutations, whatever the cell's normal character is there, means whenever the cells are growing, cells are dividing, and when they come in contact with each other, actually they stop cell division, right? Thereafter they will not further divide. So animal cell will only grow in a single layer, right? But as due to mutation they have lost these characteristics of contact inhibition, right? Because of this, cell will start to grow even if they will come in contact with the other. So after forming a one layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, so like that a bunch of cell, group of cell will be formed. This is what we are saying as a tumor, right? So this will be happen in case of a cancer. So for cancer, no any external factor is responsible, right? No any external agents come enter in the body and because of that virus occurs. It is just occurred because of some of the changes in the genes inside the body. So it is an internal factor. So these diseases are there which is caused because of internal factors are not communicable, right? Means if you are sitting with that person, then another person will not have this disease. This disease cannot be transferred from one person to another person, right? So these diseases are non-communicable diseases, or it is also called as non-infectious diseases, right? Along with the cancer, genetic abnormalities, high blood pressure is also there, excessive weight gain is there. These are some of the points given which is just caused because of the internal factors. Means here high blood pressure is given or obesity is there. This is caused because of lack of exercise, right? Or high blood pressure is there, that is because of change in the diet is there, or proper diet is not there, stress is there, tension is there. Because of that also these diseases will be occur. So all these diseases which is occur due to internal factors are called as non-infectious diseases or non-communicable diseases, while the diseases which occurs due to any external factor like bacteria, fungi, viruses, they are communicable disease, means can be spread from one person to the another person. Now on the next page if you will see, there is one box given peptic ulcers and the Nobel Prize. Now do you know what is mean by peptic ulcers? Or you must have heard about what is mean by ulcers, or maybe you have heard in your family also someone is talking about that one of your relative may have a ulcer in his stomach or intestine. Then what is mean by ulcer? Anyone knows? See here, peptic ulcers are generally caused by the acidity in the stomach. This is what from many years everybody was thinking that these ulcers are occurs in the stomach, or these are caused by the acidity, increased acidity in the stomach, and because of this pain and bleeding will occur in the stomach as well as in a duodenum. Duodenum is the beginning part of the small intestine, right? Whenever the acidity is increased in the stomach due to unhealthy food or unhealthy lifestyle, and person is suffering repeatedly by the acidity, then maybe ulcer can cause to that person, right? So this is what for many years the people were thinking. So this is what it is given. And ulcer is nothing but a kind of wound, right? Injury which is occur internally inside in our digestive system, majoritarily in the stomach as well as in a duodenum, beginning part of the small intestine. Now you must have learned the digestive system in earlier classes, and you know also there is a thick layer of mucus, right? And mucus secreting cells are present in the stomach. So they are go on secreting the mucus. This mucus layer actually protects the stomach wall from the acid, because stomach also secretes the acid, because we have to digest food also, kill the bacteria also, increase the acidic condition in the food, right? So that's why acid is essential, and it is highly corrosive acid of 2 pH, right? Now this acid is present or stored in the stomach for the food, and below that thick layer of mucus is there, and below that stomach wall is there. Suppose due to any reason this mucus layer degradation, it is gone degrading only, but this degradation is increased, but the formation of a new mucus cell layer is not formed with the same rate, then possibility is that some of the areas of the stomach wall get exposed due to lack of a mucus, and at that time this acid will come in contact with the stomach wall layer, and due to the acid highly acidic HCl, the stomach wall get burns, and this cause a ulcer. So this is a kind of wound formed in the stomach or in the duodenum, right? So this ulcer is there. This is caused because of high acidity. This is what we were thinking, right? Now this is mostly occurs because of the lifestyle, right? Different people have the different lifestyle. So because of this is major reason we are thinking for the ulcer. Everybody thought that a stressful life lead to a lot of acid secretion in the stomach, and because of that peptic ulcers caused. But after that, 2 Australians made a discovery that there is a bacterium, and name of the bacterium is a Helicobacter pylori. See the name, Helicobacter pylori, and this bacterium is actually responsible for a peptic ulcer, right? Then Robin Warren, a pathologist from the Perth, Australia, saw these small curved bacteria are there. They are found in the lower part of the stomach in many patients, those who are suffering from the ulcer. And he noticed that the signs of the inflammations were always present around these bacteria only. Wherever these bacteria are present, around that bacteria only the patient was having the inflammation in the body, right? Then Barry Marshall is there. A young clinical fellow becomes interested in Warren's finding and succeeded in cultivating the bacteria from these sources. In a treatment studies, Marshall and Warren showed that patient could be cured if peptic ulcers only when the bacteria were killed off from the stomach. Means once this bacteria is killed, then possibility of the person or the patient is get cured from the peptic ulcers, right? Means what? In short, we can say that this peptic ulcer is caused by these bacteria, and whenever we will kill these bacteria, surely the person will get cured from the peptic ulcer, right? Thanks to this pioneering discovery by the Marshall and Warren. So here about the peptic ulcer must be you come to know, these are the 2 scientists, those who have found that for a peptic ulcer bacteria are responsible and not the acid secretion in the stomach. For this discovery they also received a Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine in 2005. So as this is the extra knowledge for you, you go through this box also, because sometimes the question will asked on this also, right? Now see here, there are different ways by which the diseases will be spread in the community. This we are learning in the next point, that is in infectious diseases, means the diseases which can spread from one person to the another person. Before that, these two in-text questions are there that you have to finish. So today we have learned about the disease and its causes, right? So in that we have seen the different causes of the diseases. In that we have seen the types of diseases based on their time duration, acute disease, chronic disease, how the diseases shows the different symptoms, but these symptoms does not shows us the particular disease. For that again we have to go for a pathology test, right? Then again we have seen the different levels of the causes, first level, second level, third level, or the immediate cause and contributory cause of the disease. Next we have seen that infectious and non-infectious diseases causes. What are the causes for the infectious diseases and what are the causes for a non-infectious diseases. So all these points are very easy. Just you have to remember that whatever you have learned from the lower classes, in general you are writing the answers for these questions, that you don't have to write over here. Whatever in general sense of given for all diseases, this is given in this chapter, that only you have to write. So prepare these points properly, complete your notes. Below that 2 in-text questions are given. Also you have to complete that questions. If any doubt is there, comment it. If you don't have any doubt, like the video or write that no doubt is there, right? And complete your notes, complete your work, send me the pics. All the best.